Hello, viewers. Hope you're keeping well in Christ Jesus. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. If it's your first time on this channel, kindly subscribe, press the notification bell, and also drop a comment and share with your friends and family. Sometimes assumption makes people think that they think people are thinking maybe in a negative way, in some cases even without proof. For example, you might make the assumption that you are weird, or someone is talking about you, or when people are laughing, they are laughing about you, or maybe they're laughing and they're not really laughing, like they're just amused. And sometimes those, when you have assumptions, there's that negative part in you that you feel maybe people are thinking badly, maybe they're laughing at you, you've done something, and sometimes it's not like that. Sometimes it might be, the assumptions sometimes might be true, and sometimes assumptions, people tend to make it feel like maybe it's a disability or something. And sometimes it is true. When you have assumptions, sometimes it is not. So sometimes we can really assume by having those little evidence or reasoning. They might support a belief based of no proof, or maybe it might turn off to be wrong, or maybe it might turn off to be right. So sometimes it varies. Yeah, it varies in a particular time, and we prefer taking some time as it is true, because assuming that based on the reasoning that probably there is an evidence on the ground, while assuming it is based on little evidence or no evidence. So the assumption, sometimes it might be a guess, or it is better just not little on little evidence, or sometimes it's just, you just feel like people, maybe they're talking about you, or people are laughing about you, and maybe they are not. Sometimes imagine you can be seated somewhere and then you see people looking at you and then they talk. Then you might think they are gossiping you, and actually they did not even see you, but you saw them. So you might assume maybe they're laughing about you, and sometimes it might not be that. So there's no best proof or evidence, because you are assuming. That's why it's a belief, or without realizing what you're thinking of, or maybe it is in your mind, it is based, or you're assuming that something is happening, and particularly sometimes nothing is happening at the moment. So when you start dealing with this assumption, you start recognizing that when you're making them, you ask if there is a clarity. You ask if there is a clarity on it, instead of just relying on your own interpretations, and also reflecting questions on original assumptions or challenges that may consider to that multiple perspectives, and also the potential alternatives. So be mindful and pay attention to thoughts and feelings, and when interacting with others, notice if you're jumping into conclusions or making assumptions about their intentions or actions. So you have to recognize the patterns over time and time again. Then you start identifying situations and types of interactions where you're prone to assuming things. So the questions is that if you believe, you reflect why you hold certain beliefs and how they might be influencing your assumptions. So ask clarity questions instead of just assuming or understanding. Ask questions to gain more information, and also confirm your understanding. Confirm, for example, instead of just assuming someone agrees, or asks, what are your thoughts on this? Or seek multiple perspectives, like engaging with different viewpoints, and then consider alternative interruption or interpretations of situations. Then listen actively, relying on try to understand where someone is coming from, or rather than immediately assuming you know what they're thinking. So never assume, and then avoid those vague languages or assumptions when communicating, and then your thoughts and feelings. So you create that safe space for others to share their perspective without fear or judgment. So that one will give you an embracement of certainty and flexibility. So it's going to allow multiple possibilities, recognizing that there may be more than one explanation for a situation, and also open different interpretations. So be willing to revive your thoughts and assumptions. Then don't be afraid to change your mind when you find that new information comes in, when it comes into the light. So embrace new experiences, try new things, explore different approaches to challenges where assumptions about the world or yourself. So be actively and then work about it. And never assume, because sometimes you might be assuming you are hurt, and some people are not even aware you're having assumption. So be accurate and understand, or ask questions the way you feel, which is very healthy, and it will make us assume. So just don't assume. Kindly ask, then respond, and then avoid reaction. Don't react. Don't be negative. Don't feel bad or start having defensive mode, or maybe you're feeling threatened. Communicate and speak about it. Then decide to see positive intentions. Then shift from expectation to share your understanding. That will bring a healthy conversation wherever you are. I don't know where you are, how you feel when you're dealing with assumptions you yourself, or when you feel dealing with people who have assumptions in their space. So drop a comment and let's discuss about this, and may I know your views, and have a blessed day. Shalom.